Welcome to WeTalk. I'm Stephanie Leong and the co-founder of WeNetwork, and I will be your host for today's episode. WeNetwork is a fast-growing, high-quality recruitment business with offices in Jakarta and Singapore. WeTalk is our new podcast offered to you by WeNetwork. In WeTalk, we will unveil topics all around recruiting, career, businesses, and many more. For today, we have a very special guest. Rudolf is the CEO and President Director of Sasa Inti, a leading food and seasoning company in Indonesia, and also author of the bestseller book Going East, which is a collection of Pak Rudolph's personal thoughts on how to approach branding in ASEAN markets, given his 20 plus years of experience working in multinational and local FMCG companies. Hi, Pak Rudolph. We are truly honored to have you here with us today.
The privilege is mine, Stephanie. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks so much for coming, and I would like to first of all congratulate you on winning Indonesia's Best CEO by SWA Magazine. It is quite a feat to win this award, competing against very established CEOs in the market, and only 2 years of being in a CEO position. How do you feel, and why do you think you were able to win this award?
Well, Stephanie, when I was first entrusted to assume this position in late 2018, my goal was really to bring about a successful transformation of Sasa from being good to a great company. This transformation involved the process of relating, sense making, visioning, and embarking on a series of end to end innovations in the way we do things. We started with creating new vision, mission, basic mentalities, and of course, we established a clear strategy on how we're going to win big in all the categories we choose to be in. Concurrently, we also created a people and culture department to inject the happiness in Sasa work environment to improve the overall mood and productivity. The award itself for me is nothing less than a complete vote of confidence from my team of the progressive success of this transformation. I think I'm lucky because I think I'm blessed with uh, a team that is among the best in the industry.
Thanks for sharing, Park. So, curious about yourself now. You have had a very interesting career, right? Working in the early days for very established multinationals and mostly in marketing roles before you actually moved on to local companies in your recent positions. Could you share with us more about your colorful career history and, more importantly, why have you decided to focus and work for local companies in your last few positions?
Well, returning many years ago from my years of studies in the UK and with some internship experience with a leading company in Japan, my goal was really to spend the early part of my career with some of the best multinational companies in Indonesia. Uh, in, in the Indonesian economy was booming then, so I had quite a bit of choice and options. The very systematic way most multinational companies run, and of course the training provided for their upcoming managers were and still are fabulous. Nevertheless, as you know, multinational companies can be rather bureaucratic and slow in making decisions. Indeed, this is one of the topics that I wrote in my book. At the time, topmost positions within those companies are mostly reserved for expatriates, unless one is willing to be transferred overseas. After a while, therefore, I decided to embark on a career in a number of local companies. Most were very small when I joined, but became Indonesia's leading companies when I left.
And so far, interesting that you mentioned your book because that's what I was going to ask. So, in your book, Going East, right, which I know is a bestseller, you shared your personal experience of dealing with complexity of penetrating ASEAN market while working for multinationals across Europe and US. What would you say are the top three insights for our audience today that could help them to, successfully penetrate a complex and large market like Indonesia?
Well, Stephanie, there is no one fit all strategy that can be applied to all companies. But from my experience and reflection, I strongly believe that to win, big companies must turbocharge the decision-making process. Most East Asian markets are still very young. Things change very quickly. Being agile and nimble is a competitive advantage that no company can ignore. Secondly, I think we need to make sure that global companies have deep cultural understanding of local nuances. Uh, and this is very important because even the market has gone global, but consumers basically stays local. Uh, consumers don't simply go out and buy products. They want overall benefits that will satisfy not only their functional needs but also their emotional ones. I think that the third and last thing that comes to mind right now is that successful MNCs should make sure that they have a strong local management team who are trusted and able to cater their stakeholders' communications uh, to the local needs. Uh, when I say local here, I'm talking about, for example, Indonesia. We are talking about 270 million potential consumers, 60% of whom are now belong to the middle class.
Okay, thank you, Park, for the insights. So I also want to say, Park, you are known in the market to be a very highly visionary and transformative leader. As you mentioned, you joined companies when they were very small and you left when they grew very big. And I think that is evident in both Softex and Sasa, right? Which have seen immense turnaround and growth under your leadership. So please do share with us some insights as to how you manage to consistently transform businesses. And in this are completely different categories as well.
Well, again, I believe every FMCG businesses basically is quite similar. Uh, that's an industry that I focus on since the early days. Um, we all have employees, customers, and consumers to convince that our very existence is directed towards the benefits of everyone involved. To win in any industry, you need to make sure that you have a formidable, unique selling proposition and basically a unique, authentic, talkable marketing communications. To be able to come up with those, you will need deep understanding of the people, of consumers, of society, and all the nuances. All the nuances. I don't mean that just the kind of understanding that you get from any consumer service, but rather you need to want to think and feel deeper like a philosopher. For example, I think the wisdom of thinkers like Immanuel Kant with his feeling of rational finding, Confucius, J.J. Rousseau with their social contract, and Thomas Hobbes with a famous quip, "Life is nasty, brutish, and short," to be extremely useful relate to the needs to relate to the needs of our stakeholders.
In the course of the transformation part, what were the key challenges though that you had to overcome to achieve the success?
Well, the challenges is first of all making sure that I get to relate with all the stakeholders, getting the commitment, support, and trust of uh, getting the commitment, support, and trust from all the stakeholders, and to get everyone on the same mode of thinking.
How did you then turn Sasa, which is a brand, that was perceived to be a very old and heritage
Mm,
commoditized brand, into a leading Indonesia consumer lifestyle brand?
mm.
We are very keen to hear the Sasa story.
Uh, I'm very proud of our SAFSA team and what we have achieved in such a short period of time. Our transformation from across the factory shop floors through to the route to market have been tremendously uh, encouraging in term of progress. We've produced faster growth year on year since 2019, and as a matter of fact, our brand equity has has almost doubled in the past 2 years. I believe we are building a foundation upon which our company will be able to grow even faster in the coming years.
Thank you, Pao. That's a great start. Life. That's a great inspiration for I think other local companies as well. So, but from your personal experience as well, given that you are someone who have worked in both local companies as well as multinational companies, right? What would be your advice to the younger workforce today, who are looking for the best way to navigate and grow in their careers?
I think my advice to the upcoming leaders in Indonesia and basically across the region will be to be courageous to speak up, ask questions, and continue learning, and seek opportunities to speak with successful young professionals and business founders like Stephanie, for example.
No, that's a nice one, Park. But for yourself, Park, if I don't mind me adding one last
Okay.
question, which is how did you personally, work with your younger workforce in Sasa right now?
Well, basically, the way I relate with all the younger workforce is because we are talking about right now Indonesia having a population uh, of millennials in terms of we're talking about age range between 20 to 40, right? We're talking about millennials. Those make up about 60% of the total populations. So basically, our workforce should also reflect that. And so basically, what I encourage in Sasa is uh, for these young people to have again to stand to have courage, to be action oriented, and to have the enthusiasm to succeed while remain respectful because we are also basically an East Asian society where being respectful in uh, advocating your needs and your opinions is still very important. And I also insist that from the very start that we should have a happy working environment. That's why just now I mentioned we appointed a people and culture manager whose responsibility is basically to enforce our happiness is Sasa uh, work environment, right?
And interestingly, Park, that is the new, I guess, Sasa values, right? That we can see on your website as well.
Yes, yes, we have
Okay.
done a major turnaround. I believe we are on our way to making a major turnaround to create a business environment, work environment that is healthy for everyone.
Yeah. That's interesting because I think everyone is also very big on mental health these days. So
Uh,
happiness is quite an interesting value to have in an organization.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the great discussion, Pak Rudolph, and thank you so much for joining us today.
thank you,
So
Stephanie.
thank you. If you have any other questions that you would perhaps like to ask Pak Rudolph personally or WeNetwork, don't hesitate to contact us. See you soon and sampai juga lagi.